Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be... There's a dump truck. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you this really cool blush winter inspired set that I actually did on myself. So if you want to recreate that set on you or on a client, please keep watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. I'm Adrianna and this is my design studio.
So we're going to start off with a glitter mix for the pinky that I actually made myself. I got the glitters from Michael's craft store. I mixed a holographic glitter with a silver glitter and a white glitter, all with equal parts of clear acrylic. So you're going to pat that into your pinky nail, making sure that you get full coverage because it is a little more difficult to achieve full coverage with a glitter mix. Next, we're going to be using Glam and Glitz Charmaine for the ring finger, the pointer finger, and the thumb. I find with some of the colors in Glam and Glitz that it's easier to use a little bit wetter because it's so pigmented that you can kind of almost paint with it. So I like to use a little bit more monomer when applying my color layer. Most of the time I like to use a one bead method, but for Glam and Glitz products I find that it works best if you use it in 2 steps. I like to place one bead on the center of the nail and drag it down, and then apply at the cuticle for the second coat. Make sure when you're applying at the cuticle to spend a lot of time focusing on that cuticle area before you drag down, because you don't want to get a ridge at the cuticle. You want it to be completely flush with the nail. So here I'm going in with a few small beads to fill in some shallow areas. This color isn't very opaque, so it's okay to go in with a few extra beads just to clean up some spots if you need to. When placing an acrylic bead on the tip of your nail, you're going to want to brush backward towards the cuticle to avoid any thickness near the free edge. And here we're going to repeat the same steps on the pointer finger and the thumb. Here you'll see that I got a bit of color on the cuticle, so because I place a very thin layer of clear acrylic on the nail plate, this is not going to cause any lifting or anything like that, so I just went through and cleaned it up. So for our sweater nail, we're going to be using Glam and Glitz Lyric. It's in the Color Blend collection. placing this color down with 2 beads, one in the center and one near the cuticle for full coverage. So just like the pink, I find that this color as well is not very opaque. So I did find that I had to place a 3rd bead on the tip of the nail and brush back like before. So now I'm going to cap all of these in clear acrylic and then finish file. I'm not going to show that in this video, but if you want to see it in a future video, please leave a comment below and I will do that. So once all of the nails are filed and smooth, you're going to need a very thin striping brush and a no wipe top coat. I used Kiara Sky. You're going to take your top coat and place it down a little bit so that you can paint with it. Then you're going to pick it up with your striping brush and you're going to make your sweater pattern in any pattern that you'd like. I chose straight lines down the center, hearts down the middle, and little squiggly lines on either side. After you're done your lines, make sure you do not cure. You're going to want to leave this wet. For the smaller detail down the center and on the sides, I used an ugly Duckling detailer brush. Be very careful when applying this finer detail to not allow the designs to touch each other or run into each other, because then that's just going to make your design look messy. So for the sides of my sweater design, I wanted it to look a little more knitted. So I used a little design that looks like a sideways S. You're just going to make very small sideways S's all the way down either side of the nail. And keep in mind, you can do any design you'd like. I just liked the idea of the hearts because I kind of thought it went well with the pink Christmas design, so I thought it was cute. So we're going to grab the same color we used for the base and we're going to pour it over our wet design. Now you can give this a full cure in your lamp. Once that's cured, you're going to use a dust brush to wipe off the excess. Next, you'll need a dotting tool and white acrylic craft paint. So next I'm going to do a hand-painted snowflake on my pointer finger. I'm going to dip my dotting tool into the paint and put a dot right on the center of my nail. So now you're going to grab your striping tool again and you're going to dip it in the paint to make a straight line down the center of your nail going through that dot. Now you're going to do the same thing again, just this time you're going to do it on an angle. Now repeat that on the opposite side. This definitely takes a super steady hand, but with a lot of practice and a lot of patience, you'll be able to get it perfect. Next, I'm going to grab my ugly Duckling detailer brush to make the little stems on the larger stems of the snowflake. Basically, you're painting tiny little V's vertically on each of the stems of the snowflake. So now we'll need our dotting tool again. We're going to go into the paint with the smaller side of the dotting tool, and you're going to dot on the very base of each of those stems, right underneath the V's. So now for the thumb, you'll need your striping tool again. Dip into your paint, and you're going to want to place a line just to the left or the right, whichever you choose, of your center. So you're going to want to look at the center of your nail and imagine a line going straight down the center and go off to the side just a tiny bit with this line. You're going to do the same thing again, just this time you're going to do a horizontal line, again just above where your imaginary center line would be. Next, I'm using the color Champagne in the finger paint striping polish. I'm going to be placing this right next to the two lines that I just painted on my thumb. Next, I'm going to be using Ugly Duckling Schtick It to place crystals over the paint. For my crystals, I'm using Crystal Princess Swarovski Crystal Kit. You can use my discount code Adrianna30 when purchasing for yourself at crystalprincess.ca. Here I'm using a micro swab to add a small amount of Schtick It to the center of my snowflake. I chose a very small opal crystal to place right in the center. I'm doing the exact same thing on my thumb where the two painted lines meet, and I'm making kind of a flower design with crystals. I use Schtick It over top of the paint instead of nail glue because if you use nail glue over top of something that is painted and not top coated, you're going to find that it melts away your paint job, so you don't want it to ruin your design. So instead I used Ugly Duckling Schtick It, which can be cured to solidify your diamonds in place. So next I'm using Kiyara Sky Base to put crystals on my ring finger. I find it works the best to adhere the diamonds to a finish filed nail, not over top coat, because I find it's really slippery when you put it over a top coat and it takes forever to dry. In case you're wondering, I use a blinger tool to put my diamonds onto my nail. You can get them anywhere. You can get them at any nail art supply store, eBay, Amazon, anywhere. They're really cheap. It kind of has like a wax end, and it allows you to pick up the stones without leaving residue on the top of your crystals. So to shine these up, I'm using Kiyara Sky No Wipe Top Coat. When top coating any design like this, you're going to want to be very careful around your Swarovski crystals, because if your top coat touches the tops of them, it's going to dull the shine. The Swarovski crystals have a very intense sparkle, and you do not want to put top coat over them. They are just so beautiful on their own. So be very careful not to touch your stones with your top coat. You're going to want to completely skip your sweater design because it doesn't need a top coat because it's a sweater. So completely avoid top coating that at all so that it keeps its really cute sweater texture. When you're done with your top coat, pop it in the lamp for a full cure. And you're done.
So there there you have it. I really hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and comment down below if there's anything else you want to see. I put out a new video every Monday, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you can get the alert every time I upload. Keep shining, and I will see you next time.